In this video, we're going to be using the triangle theorems to solve problems. In the first couple problems, we're asked to find the value of each angle. Notice we're given expressions to represent the three angles of that triangle. We know our angle sum theorem tells us that the three angles are supposed to add to 180 degrees. So I have x plus 20 plus x plus 10 equals 180. Combine like terms to get 3x plus 30 equals 180. Subtract 30 from both sides, and then divide by 3. Our x value is 50, but it asked us to find the measure of each angle. So I then have to plug in 50. So this angle here would be 50 degrees. 50 plus 20 would give us 70 degrees. And 50 plus 10 would give us 60 degrees. And so we would know all three angles of that triangle. In this one, we're given 58, 35, and x. Again, we know all three expressions are going to add to 180 degrees. Combine like terms, and then subtract 93 from both sides. So we know the value of that angle is 87 degrees. In triangle DEF, we know the measure of DE, which is the side here, is 12. EF is 14, and DF is 22. We want to know what the largest angle is. Well, we also have another theorem that says the largest angle will always be across from the longest side. So big across from big, small across from small. So the smallest side is DE, so the smallest angle would be F. 14 would be the middle longest side, so the second largest angle would be angle D. The longest side is 22, which is the measure of DF. The angle across from that is angle E. So angle E is the largest angle. In this example, we want to find the value of each missing angle. Notice we're given that 156 that is outside of the triangle. So 156 is an exterior angle, and we know the two remote interior angles are going to add together to give us 156. So I have x plus x equals 156. Combine like terms, and then divide by 2. So each of those angles is 156. Now it said find the value of each missing angle. So we also have that angle that's the interior angle that touches our 156, that is adjacent to it. So if we subtract 156 from 180, we would get that that interior angle is 24 degrees. Now notice if we were to plug in 78, 78, and 24, what type of triangle is the triangle above? And how do you know? In this example, we have triangle EFG. We have the measure of angle G is 11x minus 2. The measure of angle F is 8x plus 4. And the measure of angle FEH is 17x plus 10. I want you guys to try and solve this and find the measure of angle F. I also want you to find the measure of angle FEH and the measure of angle G. The hint is to remember the exterior angle theorem. I also want you guys to try this one. We have two angles in a right triangle. My hint on this one is that the two acute angles of a right triangle are complementary to one another. Okay, in these next examples, we want to find the value of x. Notice that we have two sides that are congruent, which makes this an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, base angles will be congruent, and we're searching for one of the base angles. The base angles, remember, are the ones across from the congruent sides. So we have 30 degrees. We know that my base angles will be congruent. Well, if all three angles add to 180 degrees, so we would have 30 plus x equals 180 because those base angles are the same value. So we have 30 plus 2x, subtract 30, and divide by 2. So each of those base angles would be 75. I want you guys to try example B on this. Keep in mind we're searching for the vertex angle here. So we know the ones across from those congruent sides will be congruent angles. Those would be my base angles. Okay, in part C, notice we're given expressions to represent sides in this one, not angles. But this is actually the converse of the isosceles triangle theorem. If we're given congruent angles, then we know the sides that are opposite those are congruent. So we know the two that are congruent here is 2x minus 4 and x plus 5. If I were to solve this, I could get the value for x, and then I could find the value of each side. I want you guys to go ahead and do that. In part D, I want you to find the value of x. Keep in mind the missing angle is equal to 62 degrees.